Okay, welcome to The Gift is the Curse. As you'll know by now, I like to record these conversations in different places and different settings that tend to have meaning to the conversation. So today we're here at the Bedford Badminton Club.
Whoop.
Yeah. And today's guest, I'm actually really excited about this one. Because you're a female, which just breaks it up from, this macho environment that I'm in. And because I really believe it doesn't matter, that fire in you, that covers race, gender, sex, all that stuff. So that's great. I'm with Gail Emms, who international badminton player, with a stellar career. And it's funny, I don't know if you'll take those words and accept stellar, but I always, I'll never forget working in a football academy as a coach, and then the next recruits came in, all these young boys, and the director gave a speech to them all, the parents, and saying that the average career in professional football is 4 years, and I think across any of the 4 divisions, or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, it's 17, so actually that's quite successful, because you never made the Premier League, you're a complete failure. It's black or white. But so for anyone who's listening, 2002, bronze and gold at the Commonwealth Games in Manchester. I remember that fantastic event. 2003 World Badminton Grand Prix title. 2004 gold at the European Championships. 2006 gold at the World Championships in Madrid. National Championships, you won 6 mixed doubles, 5 doubles. And then Olympic Games. How many Olympic Games? 2.
Did 2 Olympic Games, got the silver medal in Athens 2004.
That's right. Amazing. So, I think we met recently, actually. I think you reached out to me and we're just talking about a few different things, and we're in a similar world now. And what really struck me, well, firstly, I mean, we're in Bedford today. We're both educated in Bedford, believe it or not. We're pretty much similar age. You're at the girls' school down the road.
Yeah.
I was at the boys' school up the road.
Yeah.
And both had this similar path into sport. And when I first met you, I think what jumped out at me when we talked for a bit is this, the desire inside, and we'll go on to some of the stories about it all, but the desire you have to win, the competitive spirit, then is this cocktail, the gift is the curse, this cocktail of being a really strong moral compass, wanting to do the right thing, this almost inner accountability all the time. And I just think it's fascinating. I'm really excited about talking about this whole thing today. So let's start here in Bedford. Badminton, why? How?
Well, you are looking at it. This is why. This place was my playground. It's actually quite emotional being in here.
Really?
I've been coming here since I was a baby. It was my mum and dad were members of this badminton club, and there was a tennis club attached to it, and all tennis courts, which I'm sadly to say they've gone. So I got dragged down here, and my childhood was basically picking up balls for them, my parents while they were playing tennis, and then in the winter it was down in the badminton club. It was such a social scene, and we lived around the corner. So it just became my childhood, and I'm not joking when it became my playground, because, when obviously you're young age and you see your parents, your role models at that age doing something and you want to do it. My parents cut down a racket, and there's a little thing in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. There's a cross, a metal cross there with a shuttle hanging down and a rope. Yeah. And that was my first start to trying to hit a shuttle. So they lowered it right down for me, and I literally had my racket up there and just trying to hit it like that. And it's on a rope. It's a bit like a swing ball situation. Yeah. And that was it. And with my mainly, I guess the first person I really remember sort of that encouragement and that the sort of keep going, you can do it, was my mum. Who was pretty good, and her name's on the board of previous winners at the back there. So my mum was quite a character, a competitive person. She was a footballer for England. So yeah.
Let's touch on that quickly, because otherwise we're going to go into so many different subjects. I know an hour's going to fly by. So your mum played the World Cup.
She did. She was one of the first lionesses, basically. 1971, Azteca Stadium, Mexico City. Teenager, 19 years old. She was one of the first women to restart the World Cup because they were banned from playing football. And she's got an incredible story. But for me, what I got the most out of her and her story, she didn't teach me football because of the abuse that she got for being a girl in football, but she taught me stubbornness. She taught me to basically that what she went through, she gave me that you can do whatever you want to if you put your mind to it. If it's your dream, you follow it. You do, even if like everything's thrown at you and all the wrong things, obstacles, you get around them. And I love that from her, because she also recognised my personality, because she challenged me to a few games on here, and she wasn't nice whatsoever. She thrashed that shuttle around. And I remember it took, from my first time playing her, probably about 6 or 7 years old, getting absolutely thumped on this court. Yeah. And it literally is in this room. Yeah. And then I remember on that last court over there, so court number 1, I think, or no, court number 3, yeah. That one there, I beat her. The first time.
How old?
12. Right.
Took you 12 years?
It took me about 5 or 6 years to beat her.
That's a long time.
12 years old, I beat her, and I still remember it. And she threw her racket. I think there's a mark somewhere still over there. Yeah. She threw her racket, stormed off into the changing rooms, which were beyond that door. And she cried and sulked for a good 2 months. Yeah. Okay. She's never played me since.
Never played you since?
Never played me since, until the BBC wanted to do a little piece on, I think it was post-Athens or something, post badminton. And I was pregnant. I was 8 months pregnant. Okay. And my mum challenged me to a game here.
And did you do it?
Yeah, of course I did. And I lost, didn't I?
You lost?
I was 8 months pregnant.
Oh, sorry. You were. Yeah. So,
you can see where I get my...
serious lack of form after retiring.
Something in the way of my lunging. But you can see where I get my competitiveness from, because she literally... But she knew I had that in me, and she dangled that carrot. So she... Well,
I was about to say, so it's a great start to it all. But, my big thing is nature and nurture. I think that's my own journey, understanding myself and now the motivation for this podcast, because I just see it with so many people. And I just think there's so many people out there who almost need hope and inspiration. They carry this beast inside. Yeah. And if they haven't got that nurture, you had amazing nurture there. That's amazing nurture.
Really good. And then
best coaching ever.
Totally, without coaching me. Yeah, and it's coaching without realising.
What is coaching?
I know, exactly.
Well, let's just stop there a minute. Without coaching you, but she has coached you.
She has.
Parenting is the ultimate coach, isn't it? We're both parents now.
Yep, exactly. She, like I say, she dangled that carrot. She never forced me to come down here and practice. I wanted to come down to practice here and join the club because I wanted to get better. And she taught me about losing as well, which was really, really important.
What did she teach you about losing?
She taught me that you just, it doesn't matter. No one likes to lose, no matter what. Oh, I don't mind. It's all that.
Some don't.
So not. If you don't like losing, it means you care about it. So I didn't like losing on a badminton court, and it showed I cared about it and I had a passion for it. So my mum would always say, so what are you going to do about it? Fantastic. And I'm like, I'm going to get better. Fantastic. How are you going to get better? I'm going to practice more. Yeah. So it was never, you need to do this. Go to the badminton club. Go and get better. It was, so how are you going to get better?
It's life lessons as a parent. That's not a badminton lesson. No. I mean, I have a daughter who's 7 now, and I teach her the same thing. Exactly the same thing. All I think about all the time is how can I best prepare her for what's coming. Yeah. Whatever job you go into, you're going to have to be prepared to get hurt, to fail, to lose. I've let her drop off the monkey bars and cut her knees in front of parents who've tutted at me, picked her up, dusted down, no broken bones. Let's go again. Yeah. So that's coaching for me.
Massively. And this place, I am getting quite emotional being in here. This was fun. I have so many memories. I could literally talk you through every single bench, how I had a conversation with someone. I remember someone tripping up those steps and it being like when I'm junior, I've got Michael Hardy used to run the badminton club. I literally could well up right now because every single time in here was fun. And it didn't matter if I was, like I say, winning or losing, it was fun. And that, I've actually got a tingle. I might cry in a minute.
I'm getting them now I'm getting them because that word fun, and it makes me think I'm going back to the football pitches that I grew up on, and I sometimes revisit that area anyway, and I look at them and I just think it was fun. Yeah, it was fun, but let me just go somewhere else with that. It was fun, but I was still me inside the fun, and for me, I look around, no one hated losing. I look at that group of young guys I grew up with in that team. No one hated losing as much as me. I remember when I came out of rehab, part of that was to do a list of resentments, to clear the decks, to get inside everything that's built up over the years and clear it. And so I went into the resentments, and every resentment I'd ever had, that was part of the process. It took me 6 months. It was brutal. but the idea is you're going to re-find where you got lost. And I remember like the first few resentments that came up. There's a guy called James Lasbury in there who was the best. He's probably better than me at 8, 9 years of age. And I remember resenting him, ignoring him, not speaking to him, because he was getting more glory. People were talking about him more. I'm 8. No one taught me that. Like, that's in me innately. I don't think I ever communicated that to him. I didn't know how to deal with those emotions. That is I'm blessed now to work with some young guys who get them at 16, and I can see it. I remember I met one young client recently, and a year or so ago, and he had his hood pulled up. He was 17, a young footballer, and he's looking at me through the hood, and he's chewing his chewing gum, eyeing me up and down. And I was buzzing. I was thinking, this is brilliant. And I'd already heard that this kid was highly rated, but there was discipline problems. There was people, the football industry were his club were punishing him for being too aggressive. And he was starting to lose hope.
Yeah.
And after that conversation, you're the only one who actually said, this is awesome. I said, this is awesome. Look, you're going to have to punch a few people, stamp on a few people. We'll get through that. We'll figure it out the other way. But if you start selling out on that lion inside, what are you going to be left with?
Yeah.
Can you relate to that? As a kid?
Totally. It was that lion
Sorry, I've
word.
gone off on a rant there.
No, lion word. Do you know what? Lion word, it's like an inner arrogance. Lioness. It's like an inner arrogance. And it's the start of your ego, isn't it, as a kid? So
yes,
that's where it starts. And you're like, actually, I want that. And I want it. And that's where it's like, I don't like it that they've got it and I haven't. And it does. It's like that.
Some children don't have that as much. Have you noticed that? I noticed it. My daughter, I want. And people have said, but it's fine. That says to me, and she's hot. She wants stuff. Exactly. So what I say is, no problem. Mm-hmm. If you want that toy, that costs X. Yeah. Now you can do these 3 jobs. Yeah. But Daddy, you've got that, and that. I said, yeah, but I'm working hard. Like I work. Yeah. So. Yeah. But people can shame that. I can already see other parents have commented to me, she always says I want. But that's a complete misunderstanding, I think.
But it's a desire.
It's a desire.
It's and
not for materialism.
No, it's going back to basics, survival of the fittest, to be the best, to stand out, to get this. And it's that true form of human characteristic, I think. To want to be the better one, to fight off all the others and to, get up that pecking order.
It's an elite mindset.
Massively. And I knew that. I'd had that straight away at 7, 8 years old as well.
But your mum had that?
My mum definitely had that.
So was she able to nurture that? She was, by the sound of things.
She saw it in me massively. And my brother, so I'm the eldest. Oh. And my sister, I've got 3 years younger, and my brother, completely different characters, never had that real, I don't think of it as a bad trait, but it can be seen as a bad trait and a bad characteristic at school, growing up.
You're leading me to an amazing, I never know where these things are going to go, and I've got all these notes, but you're leading me down to the best. This is exactly where I want it to go. Yeah. The shaming that I endured for having that mindset.
You try being a girl having that mindset, because it's a male characteristic. It's a male characteristic. It's a male trait. And if you're a girl having that, then you are literally.
You're right.
The claws come out. People look at you, and it's like, I remember thinking, but I want to be the best. How do you not recognize that? Why does no one else want to be the best? And why am I feeling? And the only people that I sort of really connected with other sports girls. So there was a girl in my school, Megan Parkhouse, England hockey player. Okay. And me and her just got it. We even just took a look. You get it. I get it. And that's all you needed to know. And that was just thank God for her, because if I didn't have that. If I didn't have her. But
you had during that period, so we're now going to 12, 13, 14, 15, which is tough for any teenage boy or girl, but girls certainly. Your mum was nurturing you. Your mum, you were playing highly competitive levels by then.
Yeah, I was. And then you get that whole thing of, girls are starting getting into makeup and boys, and you start having to be what's seen as a perfect girl. And, girls don't have muscles. Girls don't wear, gym kit and trainers. No. Girls start having fashion. Yeah. Girls start going out meeting the boys. And suddenly I'm like, I don't even have a clue about makeup. I don't have any heels. Suddenly I'm feeling even more of an outsider.
I'm great when I'm 2 points down.
I'm really strong, yeah. I couldn't fight you though. But yeah, you do start feeling more and more of an outsider.
Yeah.
And you try and fit. I did, you know. And what I'm also glad is my parents let me try and fit in, because I think my mum knew that I wouldn't like it.
No,
that's which again is she let me, because she knew that I was like, there's a party going on, and she's like, go. And I went, and I hated every minute of it.
Because you were like, just get me back to it.
This is just awful.
Yeah.
I remember holding a cigarette going, what am I doing? This is just not me.
I think, so let's move on a little bit then. So what age did you start to really, I don't know, you went through county levels, and what age was it then, national stuff and
15.
15, so that's young.
Yeah, basically I've been doing all the whole, you know, sort of going around the tournaments and junior tournaments, and I was so there was an England junior team and I was England B team, you know, there or thereabouts. And I remember just, I don't know what it was 1992 Barcelona Olympics was on, and I saw Sally Gunnell win the 400 metre hurdles.
Remember it.
And again, female role models, media. You boys, lucky.
Yeah.
Loads of footballers,
lucky.
you know, footballers, rugby, cricket, whatever, in the media. This is the first time, other than my mum or a PE teacher, that I saw a sporty woman win.
Achieving excellence in
with
front
muscles.
of a massive crowd with muscles. Yeah.
And she stood
that
there
adrenaline.
with that gold medal, 400 metre hurdles. I've never done 400 metre hurdles in my life. It didn't matter. This is a woman on there, and I screamed around when she went round, and I just went, I want to do that. I want to be in the Olympics. And my mum was like, right, you've got to step up a level. You know, this is, if you're talking about this, you're 15. And you know what, it was a perfect timing. Nathan and I first got together at that age. Again, he was England's B, similar level. We played our first tournament together at 15. We beat everyone. So at 15, we had that chemistry and we had that telepathy. And that was it. That spurred me, and I just knew that I had a light bulb. I had the dream. I knew I had the support system as well, and I knew that it was going to be all right. And then that went in, but never looked back.
Well, so you had the nature, and then you had the nurture from your mum. For me, I didn't have the nurture, but then it's not a parent thing. With football, it's being a team game. You go into a system, an academy system, football system. And that's more difficult because it's like 20, 25, you're competing for 11 spots.
That's really hard because it's really subjective, and it's on a manager's decision. And if he doesn't like you for whatever reason, it can be some unconditional bias or whatever. Whereas if I beat you at badminton, I'm better than you. And it's simple. And that is what I miss. Because in life, we don't have a ranking system. And that's really hard for me to process in a way. But for you, for team sports, God, I can't imagine what that was like.
Well, I think, you know, coaching players now, I try and, you know, independently, I try and take that one away from them, saying, look, the manager's not in charge of whether you play in this team. And there's a moment that kind of you see him thinking, what are you talking about? I said, if you're that good, that if we can shut all the noise out your head and you can ignore all the advice and everyone telling you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and be you, you will be in the team every single week, as I would have been. And so actually, they don't have as much, the coaches don't have as much power simply by the fact they're just going with their eyes, unless they've got a massive personal problem, which happens. But in football, you can move on to another club, you can just leave. But I want to get, without going into football, I want to go back into because this is about identification for anyone listening, and get some hope and strength in that mindset. When did that mindset start to cause you a problem in the sport? When did that aggression, desire? You're a deep thinker. Would you overanalyze? How did it affect you mentally? Did pressure affect you? Did
I was lucky in that I had. Do you know what? One of the best things that happened to me was that I got chucked off the system, and it seems really weird for people. I was 18.
Okay. Why?
So basically, they thought it was all down to Nathan. It wasn't me.
Okay.
So they split us up, and they said, Nathan's the star, Nathan's the talent. You're not naturally talented.
Who's that decision maker?
I was like, cheers. And it's just when Lottery Funding was coming in, and I just thought, and I remember coming out of that office, and you know, we were European junior champions, and yet it was Nathan and not me. And I remember coming out, and I just thought, all right, okay. Brutal. So I went to university and got drunk for 3 years. I'm not joking. It was the best thing I ever did.
You're back on your sport for 3 years.
Yeah. I trained a bit. I played a bit, but literally,
It's a big decision to make.
I didn't have a choice.
No.
Well,
No.
I didn't think I had a choice at the time.
Yeah.
I did what they told, I did what that person expected me to do. You know, give up badminton.
What do you do now? You can swear if you want. I can hear myself saying "fuck you." I mean, that's what I can hear. This is who I am.
Yeah, the thing is, I know I did the right thing by going off and living life because I matured.
Yes, yeah.
I definitely matured. Yeah. I matured way more than what my same age, and we're going off in the training, 3 times a day, 6 days a week.
But when you come out, when those words are said to you,
yeah,
you didn't believe them. There's not one part of you that believed them. I mean, there's an insecure part of us, I guess, which thinks, I
was shocked. Don't get me wrong. I was shocked because I was thinking, well, hang on a sec. There's 2 of us on a court, and together, it was not just him.
Never.
I understood that I am not naturally talented, and I don't.
Well, hang on a minute. This is what does that look like? What's talent?
I think. Okay. So naturally, when that, sorry if I'm trying to think of someone like Federer,
right?
That beautiful flowing shots kind of style of play, right? When that silky, that's what they were looking for. That's Nathan.
Yeah, but
I was that girl who had a wrong technique. I was just grinding, just smashed and just hit as hard as I could. I haven't got the natural touch. There are a lot of shots in badminton I still can't do. I can't spin the shuttle very well. I can't cross the
Yeah. Well,
but you know what? I didn't. I just got there and smacked it hard, and so that I can see why they said those decisions.
But see, I can't. So I don't want to jump in here. I know it's you, but I've had this with young players. In I think, and that the greatest gift, and that's what this is called. The greatest gift is desire.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm always saying, all the young players I work with send me clips of Messi, and I work with some fantastic young players who can dribble unbelievably and beat players, and they'll send me clips of Messi, and this is what Messi does. I said, and I send them clips back of Messi punching people, spitting on people, calling Milner a donkey and trying to headbutt him in the tunnel by all accounts. Yeah. And I said, the bit that the media HD up, let me tell you the bit that's in Messi, this tough street kid from Buenos Aires. Yeah. That now he is the best. So he has a sprinkling of natural talent with this desire. But take the desire away, you've just got another Sunday morning park kid. So actually the biggest gift is but you're talking about the best in the world here, the best of the best, Federer, best of the best. But desire is the biggest gift, and I think a lot of coaches miss it. I
think they didn't know how to get the next level of desire out of me. Well, and I think I scared them.
What do you mean?
I think I was good, but there was another level to go to.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And they didn't know how to get that out.
Oh, now I'm with you.
Yeah.
Now I'm with you. So they pushed you away.
They just thought, you know what? There's something, we think there might be something there, but it's going to be a risk to take her. Yeah. And you know what? The great thing is I worked it out myself.
Yeah.
I found that next level without them.
Sure.
Which, again, many different parts of why, how, everything like that.
And this is not about judging coaches. I'm not here to slate coaches. It's not about that.
And they've got a really difficult task because they've got all these tick box. Sure. Can they do this? Can they do that? Do you believe in this person? They've probably got panels. 4 might think yes, 2 might say no. It's all these different things. So I get it, but it was the best thing. How would
you have? So say that was you now as that coach, and you walk in. How do you coach you? Because there's loads of you, not loads of you, that's wrong, but there's plenty of desire, gift, talent, drive in these people. Might be listening and go, well, and they get lost. A lot of people that reach out to me go, you know what I love is that you're almost saying it's okay to have this. Damn right it's okay. It's a blessing.
It's great to be imperfect. I hold the racket wrong, and I have to coach to teach people not to hold the racket how I held the racket, which I think is hilarious. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but I did. And they were like, but you didn't. No, I know, but I have to coach you because the book says, the manual says this. Yeah. So I love it you're right. I see people and I see it now and I go, that's the young me and that's the young me.
What do you see? Because I see it instantly with play. What do you see?
I see rawness.
There we go. Well, you see, it's not. You never see technique really.
No, I don't see technique. I can't see technique. You can
teach anyone technique really. Some have incredible.
You can get
natural.
around it. You can always get. I didn't have a really good backhand, so I just went really fast, ran and hit it on my forehand. I can't do a cross, so I just hit it straight. It doesn't matter. There's always a way around, and you see the people who get round. they'll work on their weaknesses, but they also have their strengths are so strong. They don't, that's what I see.
But again, I'm going to linger around this point because I want to keep driving it home, and the whole. I was just editing together one of these I recorded with a young footballer the other day, and he said when he was at Chelsea's academy at 15, a couple of the coaches saw it in him, and said to him, "There's this block. You've got this block, and I don't know how to take you through it, but you have this block, and this is going to lead you somewhere." And he said, it was only when I met you, Drew, and it's not about me selling myself. He said, you saw me play and you went, you are running around with too many thoughts going on. You are running around with a caravan full of pressure. Yeah. And he said, you made me sit down in a cafe and write every feeling that you've got down. I said, well, of course, you're running around pulling that around. And that was the block. Mm-hmm. His depth, his drive was the gift, was the curse. His gift was he will not quit. Yeah. Cut one leg off. It's like a scene from Monty Python when he cut his one arm off, he will still fight. One arm off, another arm, he's no legs left, he still wants to fight. Yeah. So that's the gift. Yeah. They couldn't see it. My block was letting go. There we go.
Pushing to the next.
Letting go of what?
Letting go. Why was I holding back? I was holding something back. It was like I was scared to. I would always hold back at 95%. But that 5% is the most crucial. That's that pure,
authentic.
Yes, and I that was my block, and I haven't worked out why yet. I know, and I released it. I'm still probably working on what that was. I was 20, so again, it hit me a little bit later, 22, 23. Yeah, it was a massive fear, but what caused the fear? I don't know why yet.
For me, that's the whole reason I've set this up. I can't comment on you, but for me, and I had the same thing, it was the fear of me.
It's being vulnerable, isn't it?
Stepping out and going, this is me.
Yes.
Fucking this is it. Let's go. And chest out. And I was working with a young golfer the other day, and he's in the 2 tournament thing. In the first round, he didn't play that well. Shot 78 with 6 over, 7 over. He's super talented. I've just started working with him. Next day, he shoots a massive score. And he was telling me about his putting that day and technical. And maybe I'm out of my depth. Maybe it was technical. So I rang his technical coach. Is it technical? Yeah, maybe. So the next day, I just thought, let me just have a level with him. I said, what? I said, did you hold back at all? Because he's so talented. He went, yeah, I think so. I'm just like, I'm steering it a little bit. I'm just trying to guide it, the ball. And
it's trying to be in that control. It's a control thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Staying in control of that fear and that letting go.
Letting go.
And allowing that letting go is fine. But it's that control freak in us or something. I don't know.
Well, I think it's all part of this cocktail that's in high-performing people where for me, I knew how good I could be. So I thought I could steer that, engineer it. If my diet's perfect, if my training's perfect, if I can guarantee what's going to happen in the end result, and then I'm trying. But that brings that 5% of fear. Yeah, it destroyed me. Yeah, it destroyed me. And so I said to this golfer, I said, look, I never talked to you about winning and losing. I don't give a shit. It's about your progression. I said, it's all I care about. That you come off and you say, I grew today. Yeah. I said, so I've got one goal for you that I'm measuring you by when you call me after the round. I said that you look at those voices that go, okay, for the bunker. And last time you went and you say, fuck you. I'm going to sweat. Fuck you. I'm standing here. You're not taking me down. I'm the fucking best player here. I know I'm that good. Fuck you. Yeah. I said, you've got to be super aggressive with that voice. Yeah. I heard it's described by a great therapist. You've almost got to parent that voice, like a strong parent. Shut up. I'll deal with you later. Go and he did. He's an amazing round, but he's on a period of growth. And I said, let's pick the bones out. You understand what you did, right? It's not technique. You've got technique coming out your ass. It's you looking at that and going, no.
Owning it. Yeah.
Owning it. Some people, the best do it naturally, don't they? I'm always so jealous of them. You've probably seen them.
Yeah.
They just they don't doubt it. They go with it.
It's lovely. And you can see, like you say, you can see it, you can feel it wherever you are. If it's watching on TV or you're there and sort of lucky to watch it live, you can feel it. You can feel that person, momentum, flow, whatever you decide to call it. It's beautiful.
You've been around top performers in sport.
Oh, just incredible, And
there's a humility there.
It's it's weird because they're elite, but it's going back. It's like that going back to basics. There's no complex. There's no. trying too hard or showing, it's just this natural state, and it is basic. It's basic emotions, basic in the moments. They are at one with the sport, and that's my best matches, your best matches.
Games,
you were at one. You didn't. It feels. And that's kind of what we miss from sport, is when at those moments when you can do anything and it just works, and it's like, yay.
So that's just over half an hour, so that's the halfway point. So we're going to take a short break, and then I think in the second part we're really going to tackle more on that subject, and as you go through your career and then into post-career and how difficult it is post-career, and we're going to deal with that. This podcast is brought to you in association with the Turmeric Company. With a unique extracting technique, eliminating dilution of these incredible active ingredients, the Turmeric Company have produced a series of powerful drinks with 5 grams of turmeric in every bottle. They're leading the way in enabling people to reap the full benefits of nature's wonder ingredient. Details can be found at www.theturmericcompany.com. So welcome back to the second part of The Gift is a Curse. We finished on that. We just finished there talking about back to basics, that natural state. When it's in the flow. When we first came here, you said these are moments of fun because this is where it was in the flow. And then this block starts. You said there was this block, and I talked about my block and players' block. You just said then in the break that to me that this conversation that we're having now at this level, you never had. I never had it, which is why the universe has chucked me in this role as a coach, because I just knew. I was thinking all these footballers think all they need is this. They need this.
Yeah.
And if you give them this, we've got a country full of stars.
I know.
Country full of stars. And that's not football. I think that's in every...
it's so... I feel sad, and I don't want to feel sad, because I want to, I want to talk about my sport in such a fantastic way, and I do.
Yeah.
85, 90% of the time, I talk about my fantastic sporting journey. But... there, on reflection and, going through the journeys that we have, where, where we've been lucky. And I do think we've been lucky to be able to look back and sort of recognise emotions, recognise self-awareness, identity, all these little things. And I'm really grateful I've done that, because I don't know what person I'd be if I hadn't. I've done that. So where I'd be right now. But what saddens me is that no one asked me who I was, where I'm from, who I wanted to be, who is Gail? Because I am more than just a badminton player. And that was towards the end of the most successful years. I worked with a guy called Andy Wood, and he didn't get me at the start. We didn't get each other. We're both honest with that. But what I love about him is that when we talked about being you, he literally turned around and went, "Fuck it, Gail. Let's just go out there and fucking smack some shuttles. Just play." And that's it. And do you know what? The first time someone allowed me to be free, so, I didn't have to be like this person or play like that person, like the Messi, your footballers who go, I've got to play like this, got to play that. No, you know what? I can't be that person because I'm not. I'm me. I'm 5'3". I'm this high. I go, well, this is my strength. I can't do a backhand cross-court net shot. I'm so sorry. I still can't. I don't care, but I've been world number 1, so fuck off. And it was so lovely to be able to just look at each other in the eye and just say, fuck it. And you could feel that tension. And it's horrible because it's annoying in a way, because as you get higher and higher up, the pressure becomes more and more and more. And it's kind of ironic, it just, what it should be the most enjoyable time becomes not so enjoyable because of all the other outside influences and, stakeholders. And it just becomes, especially when you're an individual, or myself and Nathan, the spotlight is on you more. You're in a minority sport. So again, they're like looking at you going, come on then. Yeah. Make it. Why are we funding this? If we don't win, then that's our job. And you're like, brilliant. Yay. That's just what I need. And like my pressure and everyone else to just bring it on. And so, and then that's actually the time when we really needed this. Yeah, this shit. I needed to be able to turn around to someone. I don't need a sports psychologist. I'm fine on that badminton court. I can deal with 6'3" Chinese guys smashing 200 miles an hour at my face. That is not the problem.
There's the lioness coming out.
What is it? Bring it. I am fine on that court. That's my place. I am fine there because I can get that, so that's me. But when you come off, And that's when you start, okay, well, what do I do when I come off the court? When I've got this.
And pre-court, I mean, for me, the dressing room before walking down the tunnel or walking out into a court, for me it would be all the things in my head. Got to play well, can't lose. But can't lose because of finances or contracts, or there's all that business stuff. But then also, deep down, it's never about that. It's because losing for me, I was a black or white. I was all or nothing, which is part of the gift. You know, I remember many times in games, no one would know this, but I know myself. I don't need validation. 20 minutes to go, I could look around and see teammates just going under a bit, just thinking, let's get to the end of the game. I'm fucking God, we can't turn this round. And there was this thing inside me, went fuck this, and I'd go and clash heads with someone, stitches, crowd would come up, we're on the front foot, players around you, and you're back in the game. Now I don't need anyone to go, oh, yeah, you never did it. I know that's what happened. I saw it a million times. But no one ever said to me, that is what... I mean, Paul Ince said it to me once at Milton Keynes, I'll never forget. He looked at me one day, and this is the guy, serial winner, Man United, England. I remember him just staring at me one day, really bizarre. And I was in a purple patch. I was very rarely in them. I was in a purple patch, and he looked at me and went, some player you know, Drew. I was like, oh, thanks, boss. And I remember him looking at him, trying to work. You know, it was like, he's been around the best. And I was in League 2 at MK Dons, and he's been, Man United. So he knows, he could recognise, and what he was basically, it was that inside what he was trying to work out, that he has what they all had. That dressing room I was in, he has. But I was by then I was 28, I think it was my 15th club, searching for consistency somewhere, you know. So I just needed to be able to talk about all my feelings, so I knew what I was fighting when I went over the white line.
Exactly.
That's my fight. The fight is actually hanging on to my authenticity, not opponent. Does that make sense? Do you resonate?
I do, and I think you've hit it on. It was okay to be you and a little bit different as well. And I think in sport, you know, like same with other coaches, I guess, and you know the Chinese and Korean coaches. And I know this post, they didn't get me. You know, they were like, she can't do this shot, and she can't do this, but she's still beating us. And that confused me, and that confused them even.
It confused you.
And it confused me because I remember thinking, well, I'm from Bedford. I started playing in Bedford and County Tin Hart. I started playing here, and I'm beating Chinese people. You know, there's 100 million people in China play badminton. You know, it's a national sport, and I'm beating them. I've just won the China Open. It's like, but then you start. But how? Why? Should I be imposter syndrome? You know, someo's going to find me out soon. You know, they're like, excuse me, you shouldn't be here. You're from Bedford. Can you leave now? And like, you know, dreams, loads of dreams where, you know, walking onto the court, you know, you're like, if, you know, you're in your underwear, naked dreams every stuff like that, or you're late for a match, massive humiliation. Because it was always that, should I be here? People don't think I should. People never thought I'd be here. But I am here. Are they right, or am I right? And it was always that constant battle. And I think, again, I need no one to talk to about it. No. You know, because you've got to admit something really here, and you've got to be that gladiator. You've got to be that.
But can I say something to you, Gail? And this is my belief. And I went through a million sports psychologists, and I'm not knocking that. And I spent a lot of money on them. And all I needed was someone to... Identification was king. I needed someone to go inside me and go, that's exactly it. That's And I remember saying to a player, he had anger issues, but because he's beast inside. And I said, you know what? I said, I pray and meditate now in the mornings. And the other morning, I've been busy. I hadn't done it for 3-4 mornings, just recently. I said, I went to Starbucks, and I was in the drive-through, and this guy cut me up. And this voice went in my head, drag him out of his car, headbutt and stamp on him. And I was looking around the car saying, who said that? And I can own that. I mean, I'm not a violent guy, but there's a place in me, a level of self-respect, there's all that stuff. Now, he started laughing. He said, I get that sometimes. And I said, but look, you're getting punished for it. Yeah. All I'm saying is that voice will always be there. Yeah. Make friends with it. Yeah. Don't fight it. No. Let's not compartmentalize it. Bring him in. Have a biscuit with him, say, hey mate, how you doing? It's part of you, and be proud of it, because that is your gift. Ego, your desire, whatever. It's the fight. Use it, but if you're not aware of it, that's the problem. Yeah, absolutely. The not awareness, the non-awareness, the unawareness, whatever you want to call it, that's your problem, and that's why it comes out in the wrong way. But you are aware of it, and
do you know what? I'm stubborn. I'm feisty. I can be a real bitch at times. I'm selfish. I don't totally admit these things, but I'm aware of it. I know that, and that's why I made it, or why I am. And I have to get that out of my system sometimes. Nowadays, now I'll do something. I'll just go, right, I've just got to go and do something, and I go and do it because I know I'm a better person once I've done it.
Yeah.
But I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. We need our sports people coming up don't know how they are. They don't understand each characteristic of themselves. So they don't, and it's allowing, because they've got this a bit talent and ability, but it's the personality as well.
It's always the personality.
And that's what they've got to, that's what I'm scared. I'm scared that they don't, we're so focused on the outside and the result that we don't understand. If we don't work on this inside, that not only you're gonna lose them, but the mental health, but you'll get better players from it. I don't. This is what drives me crazy.
Well, it's funny because I coach now, and I was in a company I work in London. I was sitting with the founder yesterday, and the strides he's made in 10 months has been unbelievable. He was angry, it was all of these things. He was lost, and he'd been in that corporate world for 20 years. His company's a big company, but he thought things should be done this way, and he didn't have a clue who he was. And I saw straight away, I thought, he's huge empathy. I knew he was a great guy. He's a great guy, but should I be angry? Should I do it this way? He's doing it that way. And he was just lost. And now he's just completely flourishing. Yeah. And I said, you do own this journey, don't you? It's like, I said, what you've done the last 10 months, I said, is the toughest thing. You've looked and looked and looked inside at your, and you've looked emotionally, not mentally. You've gone into your heart and gone, I'm scared. Yeah. And you start to stand in the boardroom now. All the senior managers, I'm really scared. We haven't had a great quarter. Maybe I'm not good enough. And honestly, he one of the times he was actually crying, and the result over the next month was incredible. He said, rallying around people, fighting for each other. He said, I don't understand. I didn't do some big speech. He was just honest. Just
honest, yeah.
And I want to go back there because you said a minute ago, who is Gail? That was a journey that I went on, and I think, look, that's the ultimate question for me before any of us die, is like, who am I at source?
Yeah.
Well, where was I going? I've lost the train of thought.
What's going through my mind right now is I was 2 years before so we just become world champions. We were world number one. 2006. I was 29 years old. It was 2 years to 2008. We were already thinking about the Olympics, gold or nothing, because we'd won everything else. And I sat down on the bench at the National Badminton Centre in Milton Keynes, and you got it spot on. I was scared.
Yeah, I'm scared.
I might cry out. I'm feeling a bit welling up. I just went, I'm quitting after Beijing. I can't do this anymore.
What were you scared of?
I was scared that it was taking over.
Of what?
I was scared that this is all I was.
All I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Without it, I'm nothing.
What? Yeah. I just went. I sat there, and I remember telling the coach, I went, "This is it. I'm done in 2 years." And a bit like with Danny Rose, I really, really felt that when he just went, "I'm done in a few years."
Can't handle it anymore.
And it wasn't like, it was just.
Wasn't the training?
No, I can do that with my eyes closed. Can't do that. I can do that, no problem. I can play badminton. It's not the problem.
Emotionally, what it took.
Emotionally, is this all I am?
Yeah.
Is this all I can do in my life is hit a shuttle?
Yeah.
And I was scared. When you said that about your founder of your company, that's exactly it. I don't think that's the first time I've realised I've said I was scared. Well, I think
life for me is quite everything. I really believe that everything we do is either going to be from a place of love and trust or a place of fear. Every decision, whether we like it or not, if we dig right into it. Yeah. Why did I play that? Why did I play that shot where I thought I'd just get it back. Yeah. Because I was scared if I risk. Yeah. So everything is and
that's the caveman instinct, isn't it? It's passion. It's the love or fear. That's our brain. Our brains haven't evolved from. Yeah. Wait. Go. Sorry.
No. You're right, and I think the greater the desire, the greater the heart and the desire and that gift, the greater the gift of desire, and desire is a gift. Alex Ferguson heard described as, it pisses me off, people think hard work is a given. Hard work, there's people who work hard and there's people who work like lunatics. And that's another level. And that you've seen in elite sport, the highest end, there's a level, Ronaldo, it's a level of desire which is so huge, but the curse that comes with that is nothing's ever enough, and you're constantly driven and you're questioning, and it's just relentless.
Yeah, and
relentless.
And people, and you don't want to ever admit it to people either, because you're in sport and you're on a pedestal, and there's no one you can turn around to and go, you know what, I want a break, or I don't want to be a badminton player anymore. Can I just be? But you did, because you loved the fun. Oh, I love that, yeah. But when it gets that.
Well, okay. So during that period, on your best days when you played free, you wouldn't want to give that up.
No, of course not, because that kept you going. That was it was like a drug, isn't it?
It's a love. It's a love affair. That's who you are. You love it. It is a drug, but you love playing, didn't you? Give me a day.
I loved
give me a game.
winning.
Give me a game you played in when you were. That was
just
you.
On it.
That was on it. That was you.
On it.
When you're on it, you must be able to pull one out.
Yeah, there's one. Basically, we beat the guy who beat us in the final, and it was such an emotional. In the Olympic final, we had to play the same pair 3 months later in Singapore.
Yeah.
And there was something inside of me that just went. It was like every single. I was doing it for everyone. I was doing it for. It was like you feel like every spirit got into you, every single person. And I was like, there is no way you are going to beat me. And it wasn't the most beautiful game. I wasn't the most, but I won in true, sheer fuck you, basically.
Can I say something? You won, that was Gail. There, that was true, but that's who you were, right?
Yeah.
So, because when you were here at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever, you played with that same spirit.
Oh, totally.
But not to prove anyone wrong.
No.
I always have these players. Well, no, go on.
Yeah.
You might think you were, but I bet you weren't. That's just who you were.
Yeah, true.
It's who you were.
Yeah. I love proving people wrong. It's brilliant.
But you think that, I thought that for years. I always thought, and I used to try and create scenarios for myself. So before games, I'd watch films that were full of absolute, like Gladiator, pain where his wife's hung, drawn, quartered, raped, left on it. Because I want that anger. I'm trying to create that angry place. Because I think if it's me against the world, then I'm great. Back against the wall, you stick me comfortable. Or you stick me. I don't know. That's we're going off tact a bit, but I don't know. But
you're trying to feel something.
You're trying to find
the feeling.
Something.
Yeah, you're trying to find it.
There was nothing to find here. In this, what did you need to find in here when you were smashing it? You're telling me you had to find desire?
No.
When someone lobbed it over your head to get back?
No, my desire was there. It was just purely the result of, I guess.
Who you were?
Yeah, it was who I was. Yeah.
So, and that's the tragedy for me. And that I didn't know how to remain that. I didn't know how to remain that. And so I'd search for it. Because if I lose my car keys, I search for them.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I lose myself, I've got to search for that part.
It's true, because actually you think about it, you're like, I'm thinking, did I carry on playing to prove that, person who told me at 18 I wasn't going to make it, or to prove the people, the boys here that were like, oh, you're only a girl, whatever, and then it does. And
once you've won a couple of medals with they're in their box, stay there, you're done.
Yeah, it is. It's not that at all, because I didn't think of them at all when I was on that court.
No,
it was me. And my lovely stubbornness.
Well, this is it. It's about owning all parts of you. When you said, who is Gail? And that's what I didn't realise. That was rehab for me, was when I was so lost that I was using everything to try and find myself, everything wrong, all those addictive things. And I remember sitting there first night, and I was told with the therapist to pen and paper and write on my life, financially, family, career. Well, I was unemployable, done 33, wife kicked me out, and I was bankrupt. So I remember writing on that stuff. And I remember looking at the page, and I sat there in the middle of those woods in a cottage. I thought, fucking hell. I thought,
I'm a catch.
that big, tall, good looking. I thought, mate, whatever you've been doing ain't working, because my ego would tell me, yeah, you're on top of stuff.
Yeah.
And then it started. Well, who actually am I?
Yeah.
Because I thought I was the number on my shirt, or the career, or I thought I was all those things.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Exactly.
But then that's been scary, because then I'm like, I realise today I'm actually, I'm aggressive when I'm pursuing. When I believe in something, I'm so passionate, and that still scares me today. I cry at everything, emotions. I'm right on the edge most days.
Yeah.
But I just know how to walk it today.
Yeah.
most of the time.
But I think,
You know,
again, it's that
can relate to
awareness.
that, yeah.
Totally. I had so much anger that I didn't understand the world. And I had anger,
What
frustration. So this post, so when I retired, post. So I had all this anger because I was like, this world, I don't understand this world, and why aren't people doing what I want them to do, and what's going on? I was queen of badminton. I am an Olympic medalist. What is happening with, why won't people answer my emails? Why people won't give me a job? It was just building up and building up. And all it was like, I hadn't, like I say, wrote on paper what you're writing. And I'm like, well, I can play badminton, I've got an Olympic medal. Yeah, but what else? This is just, subjective. It's just a medal, but we need to know who you are. And I hadn't once stopped to even think about, oh God, just go right back. Just like in badminton, you start at the bottom and you work your way up. So I had to literally strip all those layers. I had to strip that, put those badminton rackets away. I had to stop introducing myself as Gail Emms, badminton player. Who am I? What am I, about? Learn about these emotions. Okay, so I am emotional. You know what? I am emotional. I am going to be emotional, and I'll react with my heart before my head. But you know what? I understand it. I'm going to do it, and then I'll be all right.
Did you play with emotions when you were young? If you get older, but here, were you an emotional player?
Yeah, massively.
Did that, and you lost that?
No.
So it never.
No,
you always kept that.
I always kept. I've always been. They nicknamed me Drama Queen for a very good reason.
but my point is, but as we talked, you were emotional, but you blocked your emotions, fear and emotions are I am afraid or I.
Yeah, so I was emotional in the fact that I'm an Andy Murray character, so you'd seen what I was feeling. I'm the worst poker player ever because you can just tell.
Yeah, me too.
Like woo!
It's a good fuck off. Yeah. Face, isn't it? It's like, it just looks straight through. If someone says the wrong thing, like really, you're done.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like no.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas Nathan's the opposite. But I blocked because I tried to become a character. It was a character, it was an act.
Yeah.
I was Gail Emms, badminton player, because it was a safety.
And also was that act part of trying to fit in with, I need to be more like the Chinese players, or I need to fit in with what that coach, or who am I, or that loss of...
Never thought of it like that, but yeah, potentially. It was just that
trying to be like everyone else. Cause
they look professional.
Yeah, there we are.
And they look, they look like they're the thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to just walk it and just It was pure, I had to be that act to get onto that court to win. And then, block that emotion, block the scare.
Anyone ever say to you, Gail, just forget about all the technique, go and be Gail today? Just go and be you.
A Malaysian guy came up to me, and I was warming up.
Isn't that interesting from the east of this world, where it's still quite a spiritual place?
Exactly. He looked at me.
Not science-driven.
Chung Tang Fook. Chung Tang Fook. I love his name. Chung Tang
Fook. His name. Okay,
it's like his name. Chung Tang Fook.
Okay.
Yeah, I am not swearing. That is his name.
Yeah.
He came up to me, and I remember warming up, and he looked at me. He just went, "Smile." He goes, "You have a lovely smile. Smile." And I went, "What?" I'm trying to warm up. Focus. He went, "Smile. We're really lucky." And and I'll always remember that. It punched me.
Did you play well after that, or did it leave you?
I won. Won the tournament as well. But I'll always remember that, and it made me look. And I thought, you're from Malaysia. I've been to Malaysia. There's some very poor areas of Malaysia. I don't know his backstory. I don't know, but you do hear some of the stories of these players that they've, that families are in slums and stuff, whatever. And yet it took him to turn around and go, smile, enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I just went, my God, enjoy.
And so what age were you then? 20?
I was late 20s, so I was one of the top already, but I've forgotten how to enjoy it.
But let's say you were 29, right? And we're in a place you were in here from what age?
3.
Okay, 3 till 15?
Yeah.
So 3 to 15, and this is your place of fun, you said when we first. So this is your fun place.
Yeah.
And then by 29,
I've forgotten.
Nothing's fun.
It was.
But how much are we seeing this all the time with these kids in education, in sport?
Yeah.
So fun goes.
But
fun goes because we start thinking too much.
Fun goes because of the outside pressures. Yeah. Fun goes because of pathways. Fun goes because of funding. Fun goes because of stakeholders, board. All these extra things, and yet I think it's and I look back and I look in Europe. and I play a lot in Denmark, and it's the whole Jantelov and the Eurolantis. So it's all about community, and everyone buys into the bigger society. Now, the whole thing is quite funny, but I go into a club, a badminton club, and you get it. Everyone's there, everyone's fun, everyone helps out, and it's about the pure essence of sport. And that's where we forget. We forget that between 15 and starts becoming serious and professional, and it doesn't have to be.
No, I mean, I worked in an academy. I was doing my A license at under 14 about 6 years ago, and I got reprimanded because I bought all my team after we beat. It was at Luton Town, a small academy, and we beat Liverpool 4-0, and I bought all the guys on the motorway back from Liverpool. It was a 5-hour journey, 14-year-olds, Diet Coke, Haribo's, Mars bars, the time of their life. Exactly
Get
what I was.
Shot now for
that. I got in trouble because apparently these kids had signed diet sheets. When I heard this, I quit. I was done. I said, I don't want to be part of this. Sorry, guys, I cannot be part of this rat ship. I mean, what is this? This is crap.
My son has to do that, and I made him write it out. And then I said, right, what are you seeing when you write that? And he's like, there's a lot of Nutella. And I'm like, wow, there you go. So what are you going to do about it? Should eat a little bit less Nutella. Okay, well, I'm not telling you to do it, but you
eat a bit less.
Just eat a bit less. I cannot stop him eating Nutella, but you know what? I can make him aware of it, and we can talk about, But he's 9. He's gonna eat Nutella.
I heard a story. So you know what sports like. You hear a lot of stories, but it was through the agent of a player who was at Barcelona about Messi, and they tried to stop him drinking Coca-Cola, I believe, because. South America, a lot of Coca-Cola. I think Coca-Cola is probably cheaper in South America than water. But he was and they tried to stop him, and in defiance, there was a team meeting. It was quiet. And you just said ring pull, and he just cheers him and just glugged down like half a litre. He's like, as if that is going to stop Lionel Messi putting a ball in the top corner, a can of Coke.
No,
but it might just actually make him feel quite nice.
Yeah.
It's his thing.
One of our players, he didn't do vegetables or salad.
Right.
But you know what? We got him on this really healthy diet. He lost a bit of weight. He played pretty much the same, but he was a bit thinner. He was the grumpiest bastard ever. We were like, go and get some chicken nuggets, please. You're doing our heads in. He had some chicken nuggets. He was happy. It's all right. The world will still be all right.
And this is the problem, I think, where the opposite of trust, the opposite of faith, and I don't mean religion. I'm not a religious person. I mean, the opposite of faith and trust is science, almost. Science has its roots in fear, because if we can and growth,
it's a fact, because you've got a fact to back up something.
Yes,
this is truth.
This is truth.
Fact.
There we are. Thank you. This is truth.
Yeah.
The truth is, I say to my brother, I haven't got a fucking clue what's going to happen today. You might be shit, but you know what? I think you're good. I think you're good. Take a deep breath. Work your socks off. When that voice goes, I'm tired. Run through it. Yeah. And like science
Believe
can't touch that.
You can't. I hate all these Fitbits and monitors and stuff, because you can feel your heart rate. Okay, you know if you're working hard. You know if you can work harder. Try it out. Listen to your body. Listen, and that is that. I think is it lost a bit, and that's where all that professional seriousness at the end it lost. It became scientific fact. You have won this. Your percentage rate here, percentage rate of shot here, this analysis, and I was like, well, do you know what? Actually, I felt really good on that match.
I felt.
I felt good in that match. That stat might show. That stat says this, but you know what? I felt actually okay, and that confused me. And then the confusion starts, and then you start analysing, and the brain starts. And actually, at one point, sometimes you just have to go. Have the conversation. Don't show me the facts and stats. Let's just talk.
Honestly, I remember sitting in dressing rooms after a Saturday game where I'd been brilliant and scored a couple goals, and I remember the feeling was just shit. I've got a game in 4 days' time. I've got to do that again. I haven't got a clue what I've just done. I just don't know what I've done. And all the press, will you speak to you after? I said, I'm just getting a shower. And I'm thinking, and it was like shit. I couldn't enjoy it. I was like, I've got to do that again. Now they're going to be expecting me to do it. I don't know what I've done. How do I recreate that?
4 days. I've got to do it the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
I don't even get that. That's
I've got to do that again and again.
Repeat it.
And you've got to do the homework and repeat it, and that's just that's relentless. That's 1 week. Then you've got to do the next country next week, and then it's the next week, next country.
And I guess I know we're blazing through an hour. We're nearly done, but I guess I just kind of want to finish. And anyone listening, that there's nothing to find. That young you, that young me, after that game where you'd been brilliant and I'd been brilliant, I just needed someone to say, "There's nothing to find. That is you.
Yeah.
You'll be brilliant to the day you die.
Yes.
Stay humble.
Yes.
Work hard. Work fucking hard. It doesn't get the work rate will never get easier. I'm sorry. There's no magic pill.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to find.
No.
Nothing to find.
And it's remembering, keep that, whether it's someone listening who's mentoring someone, find out a little bit more about them, find out their backstory, that nature and nurture is so important.
But doesn't that take that person to have gone inside themselves, to gone,
Yeah.
I was scared.
Yeah.
I was afraid. I was scared when we just had another baby boy. I'm thinking, shit, I've got to be a parent again. I'm selfish. Will it affect the marriage? But just real talk. It's real.
Yeah.
And I know these coaches who kind of like, nah, you just go out there and just. But I'm terrified of failing.
Yeah.
Well, you never? No, really? You were never terrified of failing? Wow. What are you made of?
Exactly. It's just ridiculous,
Yeah.
isn't it? We're human
Yeah.
and celebrate our unique, wonderful, imperfection human qualities.
And live in our feelings. So, Gail, bang on the hour. Really, really appreciate that. It was amazing today. I appreciate that. And good luck with everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.